Could you see the screen now?
Yep.
What is that
Yeah.
slide? Activity or task? Can you see that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Okay, welcome back to the session again. Okay, one more should come. Anyway, okay. So activity or task in the project management. This activity or task is an element of work. Suppose you take a building foundation is a. Can you please mute your microphone if at all it is disturbing us? Anyone? I think Lowry, I think. Resounding.
No, mine is on mute.
Okay then. Okay. Then element of, suppose we take foundation. Okay. In the foundation, it is not single task. Foundation means you have to dig the pillar pits and foundation pits and whatever it is, and then you have to put the things and these are there may be 3-4 different activities. That is what activity means. Element of work. The WBS, the work breakdown structure, that has an expected duration, a cost, and resource requirement. So task in the sense, if these 3 are there, some time requirement is there, cost requirement, and resources. Resources does not mean only money, but resource means a machine or a human resource or anything. Activity or task definition involves developing a more detailed work breakdown structure. So when you are able to successfully identify activities involved in any subtask or a particular section of the work, your work breakdown structure will be very, very detailed. And when you are preparing work breakdown structure in detail and giving to the people who are working on the site, they will never make or they will never wrongly doing something or commit any mistakes. That is the reason for the meticulous preparation of a work breakdown structure. Activity or task list is a tabulation of activities or tasks to be included on a project schedule that includes the name of the activity, identifier, that means code, sometimes they use code number, right? And a brief description of the activity. Suppose, for example, house construction, first activity, documentation, activity 1, right? Code, suppose you may find whatever the code you can give, and description is documentation. Likewise, you can find. And at the end here, you can find how many days it requires, 2 days. Likewise, this table will be provided for the people who can make a work breakdown structure so that they can prepare a pictorial presentation of the work and activities so that ground level, those who are executing may or may not be experts like mechanical engineers, they can understand easily with the pictorial presentation. Then comes with milestone. What is milestone? Some achievement, significant event that normally has no duration. Suppose, for example, a student who wanted to go to the high school, higher secondary school, must complete a grade 10, right? Once he completes a grade 10, this is what you can say a milestone achieved by him. Because once completed, there is no need to spend anything for the grade 10 again. He can go for grade 11. That is what a milestone speaks about. This is a certain achievement at a level which does not require any duration or resources. Often takes several activities, tasks, and a lot of work to complete a milestone. Suppose if anybody wishes to go to grade 11, he must start from grade 1 to 10. He must complete successfully, then he will be eligible for grade 11. So once he passes out grade 10, that becomes a milestone. Then that will be having all the efforts of 10 years of education for that person. Likewise. Useful tools for setting schedule, goals, and monitoring progress. This is milestones are always a useful tool for the setting up of schedule. This example includes obtaining customer sign-off on key documents or completion of the specific products. So suppose, for example, we prepared a schedule or we prepared a plan document. That plan document must be agreed by the customer. So unless the customer sign on the document, that document will not be useful for us. So if you get the signature of that person, that means agreement and signature of that customer, that means this is a milestone, you can concentrate on further activities of the project. In the time management process, defining activities, you must define each activity, right? Identifying the specific activities tasks that the project team members and stakeholders must perform to produce the project deliverable. And sequencing activities like previously we were discussing what comes first and what next. That is what sequencing. And estimating activity resources. Each activity, what kind of resources required, time and other resources. Estimating how many resources a project team should use to perform project activities. If you identify the activities clearly and know the resources requirement, you can deploy the resources time to time whenever it is required. Deployment of resources becomes easy. Estimating activity duration, how much time activity needs to be completed, number of periods or work days or weeks or months, whatever it is. Developing schedule, analyzing activity sequences, activity resource estimates, and activity duration estimates to create a project schedule. Tools and techniques include a Gantt chart and critical paths analysis. Controlling the schedule means controlling and managing changes to the project scheduling. Sometimes you might have taken one particular path, activity 1, 2, 3, and likewise, you completed the schedule, but due to certain changes in the procedure, you may have to add one more activity here. One another activity, subsidiary activity may come. So if necessary, there may be certain changes to the schedule also. That is what controlling, how effectively we are controlling that schedule from the previous one. Then comes with work breakdown structure, a method of breaking down a project into individual elements, that is components, subcomponents, and activities and tasks in a hierarchical structure, which can be scheduled at and cost estimated. It is missing, right? The word missing. It defines tasks that can be completed independently for other tasks, facilitating resource allocation and assignment of responsibilities, and who has to do, who does what, and how does it being done. These all mentioned in this work breakdown structure. It is foundation of project planning. That is very important. Work breakdown structure, preparation of work breakdown structure is very, very paramount activity in the planning, because work breakdown structure gives clarity on how many people need at a time at particular project site, what kind of people you require. Sometimes welding people require, sometimes civil engineers require, sometimes mechanical engineers require, where these people require, then so that you can deploy the resources properly to not to delay any activity. It is developed before identification of dependencies and estimation of activity durations. It can be used to identify the tasks in the CPM and PERT. This is CPM means critical path method, one network method. PERT is a project evaluation review technique or program evaluation review technique. Both the things can be used. CPM means critical path method. PERT means program evaluation and review technique. These two are network techniques which we discuss further later on. So example for work breakdown structure. You see here, computerized order processing system. One company wanted to establish a new form of ordering system, using computer. That is what information technology. For developing this new system, there are 3 requirements and 3 different tasks. This is what major tasks: hardware requirement, software, and personnel. Because you may give or outsource project to some outsiders, that is hardware people and software people, but your people, internal people are going to use this. That is the reason why personnel you need to recruit. When you see here, the first one, hardware requirement, you can find activities, installation, area preparation, technical and engineering activities, and wiring and connections, everything, power systems and various things. Once you install and put everything hardware, you test the hardware whether they are running properly as per our expectation or not, our requirement. And then you connect the systems. This part is talking about electricity and all those things. Internally, room preparation and tables and, air conditioning and so many lighting and interior, everything comes here. And connections comes. Testing, connections, wiring, servers, monitors, what all the things, this hardware comes here. And once everything is done, comes with the final testing. Once you run for the final testing, all the systems are properly functioning or not, then you can record the performance of the system. Then comes with the software, because hardware is done by hardware engineers and software developed by software engineers. And software, they develop the software and the customization of software, because when they broadly develop certain software, they will come with a customization, how this is suitable for this particular business, and modifications to suit the perfect functioning as per the requirements of the customer, and system development of the system. Once this is done, then testing the software and systems, everything, then training the people, right? Software training and system training, and changeover. Because if they are coming with a computerized process now, that means company does not having any ordering process earlier. That company does have manual process, so they change over. They change from the manual system to the computer system. Then customizing, what we call customers addressed and suppliers addressed properly. Then third aspect, you see, personnel, recruitment and all. This is another function. Recruiting, interviews and testing, job training, individual and groups and software, orientation, goals, objectives and systems. So this way, work breakdown structure will meticulously divide the activities based on each function, and within that again, how many different tasks. This is what work package. Connections, suppose this is a work package. Monitors, this is a work package, likewise. Right? Now, we discuss about, we talk something about Gantt chart, which is used for scheduling the project activities. Gantt chart provide a standard format for displaying project schedule information by listing project activities and their corresponding start and finishing dates in a calendar format. The symbols used include black diamonds for, yes please. Hello, anyone have any question?
No, not
No.
from me.
Okay. So the symbols, we just remember this. I can show you this where these are used later on. Black diamond represents milestones. In the chart, I have shown you the example for a chart here. This is a chart. This kind of charts are normally used for the time, what we call scheduling of the activities. So these charts will be representing with certain pictures and certain lines and all. Black diamond shape, normally if you see the playing cards, you can find this kind of crystal. That is what black diamonds are. Black diamond represents milestone. That means we achieved certain thing. Then thick black bars for summary tasks, lighter horizontal bars for duration of the task, and arrows for dependencies between tasks. So this Gantt chart description is based on these kind of expressions. You can see here, black diamond. These are the milestones. And you can see black arrow. This is summary activities. Black bar, summary activities. That means here it is starting at 28th January, December, and ending on 24th May. This is an indication, right? These arrows are sequencing, and you can see Here one arrow, you can see arrow is connecting this task to this task. This is what, to complete this task, you must ensure that this task is completed before. Here you can see here, one small connection. This task is connected to, sorry, it may not be clear. So this particular task is linked to next task. That means if you want to commence this task, where this hand is showing, to commence this task, you must ensure the previous task is being completed. This is what link between different tasks explained. That is what arrow says. Then comes with the previous one is Gantt chart. That is time estimates and just sequencing the activities. Critical path method. This is another network diagram which is used for what we call a technique used to predict the total project duration. Critical path for a project is the series of activities that determines the earliest time by which the project can be completed. Critical task in the sense very most important tasks. By completing these most important tasks, you can ensure that on time, if you complete those most important tasks on time, you ensure that project is completing on time. If any of those critical tasks, suppose you take in a house construction, foundation delayed, for example, foundation activity delayed. What happens to the house building? Entire house building will be delayed, right? Right. So,
Delay.
so that is the reason why critical task in the sense once foundation is done, the immediately other tasks can be performed so that that project will be completed on time. Critical path, normally what is critical path? Critical path is the longest path through the network diagram and has the least amount of slack or float. You forget about the slack or float, but the tasks which are connected with the most important path on which most important tasks are connected, that is normally called a critical path. And critical path time taken for the activities on the critical path will be project duration. Slack or float we'll discuss later on. This is what delays or delay in suppose you take for example, there are activity 1, 2 and 3 for example, right? Here 4 is there and 5 is there for example. Suppose this this is 0, 1, 2. If 1 takes 3 days, 2 takes 10 days for example. The 3 you can start only completing after completing this 1 and 2 for example. So 1 is taking only 2 days, 2 is taking 10 days. That means you need not start both the activity 1 and 2 on the same day. That is not necessary because next activity only starts after both 1 and 2 complete. That means 1 is taking 2 days, 2 is taking 10 days means you can delay the 1 activity by 8 days. There is no problem for the project. Why? In the sense, it needs only 2 days. That means activity 2, you commence on the day 1, you work on that for 8 days, right? On 9th day, 10th day, you can concentrate on the activity 1 so that the 2 days you can complete, then immediately you can go to the next task without any failure. So this is what that means activity 2, you have to start immediately. Activity 1, you can delay, even then your ultimate project completion is not getting delayed. That is understanding for the slack and float in simple. What are the network diagram symbols and what kind of information they give? See, this is A, activity A. This is called, a circle is called normally node. Node means a junction for the 2 different activities or multiple activities. In this network diagram, to start either B or C, you must see that A completed before. If you do not complete A, you can never start either B or C. That is the indication of this picture. Second picture speaks about both A and B must be completed to start C, because the C is a succeeding and A and B are the preceding or predecessors. Both A and B must finish before C can start. Then this picture speaks about there are two activities previously, and this is called these activities left to the node called preceding activities, right to the node called succeeding activities. So to commence this C or D, you must see that both A and B completed before. Otherwise, you can never start either C or D. Now you can see the picture. Both, there are 4 activities, A, C and B, D. Both are parallel activities, right? But you see, A must be completed before you start B. At the same time, before you start D also, A must be completed. That is, this dummy activity is a connection, just indicates connection, but no resources required, no resources. Dummy means just indicating with a, see, you can see this dummy with a broken arrow. Dummy activities are indicated with a broken arrow where it does not require any resources, but it is just connecting the flow of the activities. So A must finish before B can start. Both A and C must finish before D can start. That is the indication of the A must finish before B starts. A and C must finish before D starts. This is the indication of this picture. This is one example, a project network diagram, how project network will be drafted. Activity, this is what normally called activity on node. The activity numbers are given in the circle, that is called activity on node. If activity numbers are given here on the arrow, that is called activity on arrow. So this is a type of diagrams. Event signals the beginning or ending of the activity. Event signals beginning or ending of. Events normally indicated with a what we call a node. Node means this is this what we can see here. This is node. The circle is called node. Event designates a point in time and represented by node. A network shows the sequential relationships among activities using nodes and arrows. Then we have 2 types of what we call representation of the what we call network diagrams: activity on node and activity on arrow. Activity on node, nodes represent activities and arrows shows precedence relationship between those things. And activity on arrow represents the activities and nodes are events for points in time. That's all. They just connect. Yes, please.
Activity.
Hello. Rennie?
Okay.
Taking something, you're talking something? Would you like to ask anything?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. So this is some example. Activity on node and activity on activity node, AON and AOA and AON. AON. See, activity number 3. It is indicated on the arrow. Activity Here you can see activity number 1 on the node. This is a difference between AON and AOA. Just it is only to mention some kind of difference, because in activity on node, nodes will be, these circles will be equal to number of activities in the project. But in activity on arrow, these arrows, number of arrows will be equal to the number of activities in the project. AON represents number of nodes, number of circles equal to number of activities in the project. In the AOA, number of arrows equal to number of activities. This is the important. In the AOA project, AOA diagram, when you count the arrows and when you take the list of activities, both will be the same, number of activities and arrows in the project. When coming to the activity on node, the circles counted equal to number of activities in the project. That is the reason why they will have separate for this. Start event is not like a node. They don't say, they don't consider this as a activity. At the same time, you can find here, sometimes you can find finish also will be there sometimes. So these two are not counted as activities, and between these circles can be taken as activities. Example, ABC Associates, right? So this is what the tabulation of the activities and the relationships between the activities expressed in the project, what we call scheduling. See, these are the activities, activity A to K, right? Then this is this indicates predecessor, means which follows which one. Suppose, for example, to complete the C, A must be completed. That is the indication. To start the C, A must be completed before you commence the C. So for A and B, just one dash is there. That means they are independent activities. They are not depending on any previous activities, and they can directly start the activity A and B. But coming here, for example, J, if you want to commence activity J, you must ensure both D and H completed before you start. This is the succeeding and predecessor relationships on the network diagram. And this indicates time taken for each activity. A constitutes 6 days. A requires 6 days to complete. In the same way, D requires 5 days to complete. In the same way, K requires 5 days to complete. This way, number of days, right, required a day. Not always days, my dear. That depends on the project. Sometimes a project may be taken months or weeks, whatever it is. See that example given here. Activity on arrow. You see, activity A mentioned on the arrow. These numbers mentioned in the circle is not activity numbers. That is only sequence. That's all. A, right? You can see A here. I'll just A, B, and C. When you speak about here, both A and B independently starting from this starting point. A and B are not linked to any previous activities. So we'll have only 10 minutes from now. After, in 10 minutes, our session will be closing. Up to 10 minutes, whatever is possible, we can do it, right? After that, we close it and we can go to the next session. And before that, please let me know, can we start tomorrow at 11 o'clock as it is? Of course, today I failed, but I don't repeat the same. Shall we start tomorrow at 11 o'clock, another session?
11 o'clock for me is fine.
Yep.
Sorry,
Same here.
confirming time.
Okay.
Confirming time 11.
11. Okay. 11 to 12:15. 15 minutes. 1 hour 15 minutes or 1.5 hour maximum. Is it okay for you, Rennie?
Yes, fine.
Okay. Right. Okay, we'll continue, right? So when you speak about this arrangement, see activities mentioned here, A and B, right? When you see C C must start only after A completed. So here it started from here. D also need A to be completed. So D came here. E also need A to be completed. So that is the reason why E came here. Then F commences only once B and C completed. That is the reason why C has been taken here and added here. B, C, then F started here. Then G also starts only after B, C complete. G started here. B and C joined here. So this is a predecessor for G. B and C is the predecessor. And for commencing H require both E and F must be completed. So E and F are here. E and F here. So H commences here. And to commence I, also we need E and F to be completed. E and F to be completed. And J, commencing J requires D and H to be completed. D is here and H is here, so that D and H is completed. And to commence K, you see both G and I must be completed. G and I must be completed. This is a finishing point. This way we can draft network diagram so that this indicates, this will indicate what is first and what is next. Suppose, for example, I will just take it. Suppose to commence K, right? We must see that all its preceding activities completed or not. So to complete, to commence K, you must ensure both G and I, whether they are completed or not. If G is delayed, you cannot start this K, because to start K, you must have both
G and I.
both G and I must be completed. So that is this sequence will indicate, even a layman can understand, if I wanted to commence this H, what is to be completed, that he can check it. Okay, whether E and F completed or not. Then if E and F to be completed by somebody else, the person concerned for H will consult this E and F, the people related to the activity E and F, and they can confirm. Then once this E and F completed, then only he can start activity H. So this way, the flow of activities will be explained with the network diagram. And also, you must have seen why these are, the arrows are, all arrows are not in same color. Are you getting me? Do all arrows are in the same color?
No.
Few are in black color and few are in the saffron color, right? Different color.
Mm-hmm.
This means,
Different color.
yeah, this different color, and one more point. On the network diagram, these are called paths. Path means, suppose A, D, J, one path. Connecting A, D, and J. It is one path. Then A, C, okay, A, E, H, J. Sorry. Suppose A, D, J. My goodness. This is one path. On the network diagram, we may find multiple paths, and we need to identify each path, and for each path, how many days it is taking, we must understand. Suppose A is taking 6 days, right? This is the path I am talking about. One path. A is taking 6 days. D is taking 5 days. Then J is taking 3 days. So 6 plus 5, 11 plus 3, 14. This 14 days is called a duration of this path 1. Path A, D, J. In the same way, you can find A, E, H, and J, for example. This is another path. path 2. In this again, A is taking 6 days, E require 1 day, H require 6 days, J require 5 days. So this put together, 6 plus 1, 7, 7 plus 6, 13, 13 plus 5, 18. This 18 days is path 2. That means activities on path 2, right? Activities on path 2, taking 18 days. This way, we have to identify each path and how much time required for each activity. Put together will give us path duration of the path. If you take this differently colored arrows, A, C, F, I, K. This require, C, A 4 days and C require 3 days, F require 4 days, I require 5 days, then K require 5 days, right? I requires 5, okay, 5. So 5 plus 5, 10, 14, 17,
That's
20,
20 days.
21 days.
Yeah.
So this is probably, this 21 days is the longest path. So longest path is called critical path in the network diagram. The path which takes more time is called critical path. That is called the longest path. That is the reason why they mentioned this in a different color. Understand? This to indicate this is a critical path means these differently colored activities are critical on the project. If any of these activities get delayed, entire project will be getting delayed. Understood? Hello? So to avoid,
Yes, understood.
to avoid the delay of the project, we must see that these are the activities in differently colored must be completed on time so that project will be completed on time. This is the purpose of what we call a critical path method, right? Now we stop here. We go with other quality management and all tomorrow. We meet tomorrow at 11 o'clock. Please ignore today's not happening, but tomorrow it will be happening, right? Any questions, please? Yes, please. Rennie, have any question?
No.
Okay. Sonia,
No questions.
Elijah.
I have a question only based on the yesterday's Zoom's lesson because I was not on board also.
Did you
it's to do with
watch
the
that?
assessments.
Did you watch that lesson?
Yeah, I did watch the lesson. You said about the assessment. You said assessment 1 is due on the 17th, and assessment 2 is due on the 15th. Which is that correct? The dates, because the second assessment is due first than the first assessment.
No, first assessment is a quiz. Quiz on 17th. I planned.
Yeah. And the one on the 15th.